5 important grammar rules that every English learner must know. At number 5, we have the capital letter. A capital letter must be used as an initial letter when writing the following. Proper nouns. Proper nouns are names of specific places, people, and even things. Like we have Kevin, we have Harvard University, we have Mississippi. The next names that start with capital letter include names of civic holidays like Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Easter. They have to start with capital letters. Public places like streets and roads must also start with capital letters like Edinburgh Street. Also, when you're referring to yourself like I am, you have to use a capital letter. The second grammar rule is you must use appropriate punctuation. Punctuation marks include commas, full stops, hyphens, exclamation marks, question marks. So how do you use a comma? Use a comma to show a weak pause in a sentence. For instance, if you want to speak fluently, comma, you have to practice. You can also use a comma when naming several things at a time. For instance, I went to the store and bought milk, comma, bread, comma, eggs, and bacon. How to use a full stop? A full stop is used to show that the sentence we were writing has come to an end. We put a full stop at the end of a sentence. For instance, I love playing soccer. Full stop. How do you use question mark? Are you listening? Question mark. Do you have a notebook? Question mark. Next punctuation mark is exclamation mark. Exclamation marks are used to show very strong feelings like feelings of excitement or feelings of anger. Use an exclamation mark at the end of a sentence to show very strong feelings. For instance, get down! Exclamation mark. Or what a great view you have here! Exclamation mark. Hooray! Exclamation mark. The next punctuation is a colon. The popular use of colon is to introduce a list. For instance, camping entails various activities, colon, hiking, tent building, bonfire activities. So these are only some of the punctuations used in grammar. Of course, there's several other punctuations like hyphen, asterisk, quotation marks, and on and on and on. You must use the correct punctuation. The third grammar rule is you must write in sentences. A sentence has the following characteristics. A sentence starts with a capital letter, ends with a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation mark, and contains a verb. A verb is a doing word, like cooking, playing, loving, crying, and so on. So when you're writing in grammar, you have to write in sentences. One thing I want you to remember is that when you're writing and your sentence is very long, you can always use a comma to pause and continue with the sentence, or split your sentence into shorter sentences. Especially if English is not your first language, shorter sentences will help you avoid grammar mistakes. Shorter sentences are also more clear and more effective than long, complex sentences. The fourth grammar rule is you must use the right vocabulary in your grammar. It's important that you use the right vocabulary in your grammar. Most grammar mistakes are usually made by confusion between two words that either have slightly different spellings or slightly different meanings. Words like affect and effects, or a word like a quote and a quotation. Practice with an S and practice with a C. The first words in this list are verbs. The second words are nouns. It's very easy for a student or a learner to confuse between the two words. So you have to make sure that you're using the correct word. Other words that might also confuse students include principal and principle, alternate and alternative. These words have different meanings, or words like less and fewer. When you use less, it means something is less in quantity. For instance, there's less milk in the bottle than yesterday. When you use fewer, you mean a smaller number. For instance, there are fewer students today than yesterday. I also want you to know that a spelling checker can only identify spelling errors in your word, but will not identify misused vocabulary. So you have to ensure that you check the meaning of the words before you use them. The fifth and final grammar rule is you must use the apostrophe correctly. The apostrophe has two different functions. The first function is to indicate possession. For instance, Kevin's bicycle or Stacy's mobile phone. Possession refers to ownership. This bicycle belongs to Kevin, therefore it's Kevin's bicycle. Possession is adding an apostrophe followed by the letter S added to the noun. The student's assignment. The second use of an apostrophe is in contractions. And if you want to know more about contractions and the different types of contractions, I made another video specifically talking about contractions. Link in the description below if you want to check it out. So when writing English words that have been shortened, an apostrophe is used to show where the missing letter would normally appear. For instance, where is the shortened version of we are. The apostrophe distinguishes the word we're from the word wa, which has a completely different meaning and completely different pronunciation. So I want you to also know that for pronouns like my, its, has, his, we don't really use an apostrophe with them. For instance, this bicycle is hers. We don't add the apostrophe. Another confusion also comes when students are asked to differentiate between its and it's with an apostrophe. It's with an apostrophe is the contracted version of it is, while it's without an apostrophe is used to show possession. The cat ate its food. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all about today's video, and let me know in the comment section which of these grammar rules did you not know. Let me know in the comment sections, and without further ado, let's catch up in my next video. Bye.